The wind whispers through the Heartland fields, carrying a memory that has been missing for far too long. The stables feel emptier than usual, the horses seem restless, and the farm that once echoed with laughter and warmth now holds a quiet sadness. But today, something is changing. Someone familiar is about to return, someone whose presence has always been the heart of this place. Ty Borden is coming back to Heartland, and his return is not just a visit, it's a reunion that will stir emotions, unlock memories, and remind everyone what home truly means. For months, the farm has been holding its breath, waiting for the sound of familiar boots on the dirt, the gentle murmur of Ty's voice, and the steady hands that have cared for every horse like they were part of the family. Today, that moment finally arrives, and the first rays of sunlight break over Heartland, casting a golden glow across the rolling fields. Mist clings to the pasture, curling around the legs of grazing horses, and the soft rustle of leaves is the only sound that accompanies the early morning calm. The farm looks peaceful, almost too peaceful, as if it's holding its breath in anticipation. Every stable door, every fence post, seems to wait for something or someone. The camera slowly pans across the barn, showing empty stalls where the horses usually gather, their absence a subtle reminder of the quiet months that have passed. A lone swing sways gently in the breeze, moving back and forth as if echoing the rhythm of Heartland itself. A rhythm that has been incomplete for far too long. As the camera moves closer to the farmhouse, the world begins to hint at change. A distant rumble is heard, a truck approaching along the winding dirt road that leads to Heartland. The familiar creak of the old gate swinging open stirs something in the viewer, a feeling of nostalgia and the thrill of anticipation. Shadowed figures move across the porch, hands clutching mugs of steaming coffee, the morning chill visible in their breath. Though faces are unseen, the emotions are clear: curiosity, hope, and the unspoken question, could it be him? Inside the barn, the horses lift their heads, ears pricked, their instincts sensing the presence of someone they know. The camera lingers on their eyes, soft brown and alert, reflecting a mixture of recognition and excitement. Yes, the camera shifts to focus on personal items. Idled on Ty's old saddle hanging on a rack, a worn pair of gloves, a brush that's left where he last used it. Each object tells a story, a silent witness to the days he's been away, and the connection that time hasn't broken. The sound of hoofbeats grows louder, blending with the rhythm of the approaching truck, signaling that the long-awaited return is near. Outside, the sunlight hits the farm in perfect, golden tones, highlighting the familiar paths Ty once walked daily. The wind carries the scent of fresh hay and damp earth, and the camera captures the gentle sway of tree branches, as if bowing in welcome. Somewhere in the distance, a dog barks, a sound that usually greets familiar footsteps. The combination of these subtle cues, the wind, the animals, the soft creaks and rustles, creates a feeling that something monumental is about to unfold. The narration begins softly, almost like a whisper. For months, Heartland has waiting for a presence that has always been the heartbeat of this place. Today, that heartbeat returns. Ty Borden is coming home. The camera focuses on the long driveway leading from the main road. Dust rises in the sunlight, curling like a golden ribbon in the morning air. The truck's shape appears in the distance, familiar and unremarkable to the casual eye, yet charged with meaning to anyone who knows what's coming. The suspense builds slowly, allowing viewers to feel the weight of the moment, to sense the quiet before the reunion, to recognize that every second is steeped in emotion, history, and love. Finally, the shot widens, revealing the entire Heartland farm bathed in warm sunlight. The narrator's voice carries a mixture of anticipation and tenderness. Home isn't just a place, it's a feeling. And today, that feeling comes alive again. The hook has done its work. The audience is ready, hearts racing, minds yearning for the next moment, the moment Ty Borden steps back onto Heartland. And everything begins to change. It'll ever be the same. The sun climbs higher over Heartland, spilling warm light across the farm and revealing its quiet rhythm. The horses roam freely, tails flicking, their soft neighs echoing across the paddocks. The camera lingers on each animal, capturing the subtle signs of familiarity and comfort. They know this place. And yet, there's a restless energy, a sense that something is about to shift. The barn doors creak gently as they sway in the breeze, a quiet reminder of the absence that has lingered here for months. Every corner of the farm feels alive, yet incomplete, as if waiting for a piece of its heart to return. Inside the farmhouse, hands move across the kitchen counter, tidying cups and plates, brushing crumbs into the sink. The camera shows the details. Faded photo of a younger Ty on the fridge, a scarf left on a chair, a book opened mid-page. These small objects tell a silent story of the life that has carried on without him. It's the routines that tried to fill the gap he left behind. Outside, the wind rustles through the trees, carrying with it the scent of hay, fresh earth, and the faint trace of horses that have trotted along the paths for generations. The air feels heavy with anticipation, almost as if the farm itself is holding its breath. The camera moves to the paddock, focusing on a group of horses gathered near the fence, ears pricked toward the distant road. The subtle tension in their movements suggests they sense a change, an unfamiliar yet familiar presence approaching. Soft background music swells, carrying a hint of nostalgia and warmth, while ambient sounds hooves tapping on dirt, leaves, swaying. The distant creak of a gate enhances the feeling that Heartland is preparing for someone very important. Narration begins, calm and reflective. For Heartland, life has gone on, yet there has always been a space that no one could fill. The laughter, the routines, the quiet mornings, they were all waiting for someone to return. The narrator's voice emphasizes both the passage of time and the emotional weight of absence. Drawing viewers deeper into the story, the camera then glides across the farm, capturing familiar locations from new angles. The open fields where Ty once trained horses, the wooden fence he repaired countless times, the pond where he sat quietly on warm evenings. Each shot is faceless but rich with memory, evoking a sense of intimacy that the audience can feel. This is Heartland, as it has always been, yet different, more fragile, more yearning, more alive in its anticipation. Meanwhile, hands tend to the horses, brushing coats and adjusting bridles. The camera focuses on these small gestures. It's faceless but deeply familiar. Care and love expressed through actions, not words. It is clear that life at Heartland has been maintained with dedication, but the energy of the place has been waiting for a catalyst, a spark to bring everything back to life. The narrator continues. Every corner of Heartland remembers him. The stable, the paddocks, even the wind through the trees. Ty Borden's presence isn't just mistints needed. And now, after months of waiting, that presence is finally returning. The scene closes with a wide shot of the farm from above, sunlight glinting off the fences and the horses' coats, casting long, dramatic shadows across the fields. The atmosphere is calm yet charged, peaceful yet expectant, the perfect prelude to the moment that will change everything. The audience can almost feel the first footsteps of Ty approaching, even before they appear on screen, and the tension of anticipation builds naturally. Drawing viewers further into the story, the distant sound of a truck engine hums over the quiet fields, low and steady, almost like a heartbeat returning to the farm. Dust rises in slow golden curls along the driveway as the vehicle draws closer, sunlight catching the particles and turning them into a shimmering path. The camera pans across the familiar landscape, the barn, the paddocks, the winding paths. Ty once walked daily in. Everything seems to lean forward in anticipation, as if the land itself recognizes what is coming. As the truck slows near the old oak tree by the gate, the camera focuses on shadowed details rather than faces. Boots stepping out, hands gripping the wheel, a jacket swaying in the breeze. Even the faint creak of the truck door resonates, each sound magnified in the stillness of the morning. The horses lift their heads, ears pricked, nostrils flaring. One steps forward cautiously, sniffing the air, then another follows. Their reactions are subtle but unmistakable. They know him. The farm knows him. Ty Borden is back. The narration begins, soft yet tinged with awe, after months away. The familiar heartbeat of Heartland returns. Ty Borden, the hands that have always cared, the eyes that have always understood, is coming home. And with him comes the promise of hope, of healing, of hearts reconnecting. The camera shifts to the barn, catching a breeze that flutters the hay-strewn curtains and sets a few loose tools rocking. Close-ups highlight objects that tell his story, a saddle leaning against the wall, gloves draped over the rack, a brush left mid-sweep. Every item seems to sigh in recognition, waiting for the moment when he will touch them again. A horse gently nudges the fence, eyes wide, nostrils twitching, feeling the presence before even the humans do. Outside, the truck door swings open, and boots hit the dirt with a measured, familiar rhythm. The camera stays faceless, focusing on the movement. A hand brushing over the side of the truck, fingers. The narration continues, building suspense. Some returns are quiet, almost invisible at first. Some leave the world unchanged at a glance, but some change everything. Today, Ty's return will stir memories, emotions, and connections that time could never erase. The camera captures fleeting moments. A horse pawing the ground, leaves trembling in the wind, the soft sway of the gate as it opens. Each element reinforces the idea that the farm itself has been waiting silently, preparing for this moment. The suspense lingers, slow and deliberate, allowing the audience to feel the weight of his presence before he even steps fully into view. Finally, the wide shot frames the driveway, the barn, the paddocks, and the approaching figure silhouetted by the rising sun. The atmosphere is electric yet calm, anticipation coiling like a spring ready to release. The narrator's voice deepens in warmth. Ty Borden walks back into Heartland, and, with every step, he brings life, laughter, and love back to the farm that has always been his home. Nothing will Beatty wind carries a faint scent of hay and morning dew as the familiar silhouette of Ty steps closer to the barn. The camera lingers on the details. The soft crunch of boots on the gravel, the brush of a sleeve against the truck door. The way his hand hovers for a brief moment before reaching out to a familiar object, a saddle, a broom, a horse halter. Every motion speaks of connection, of memory, and of homecoming. The farm seems to respond with subtle life. A horse flicks its tail, a dog lifts its head and tilts its ears. Even the trees sway as if nodding in quiet approval. The first encounter is tender, understated, yet charged with emotion. Amy steps forward, her figure seen from behind, hand outstretched toward the figure approaching. The camera captures the hesitation in the moment. A pause, a breath held, hearts sinking with the rhythm of the farm itself. The horses press closer to the fence, watching, sensing the reunion. There is no need to show faces the audience feels. The weight of longing and relief through gestures alone, narration flows softly. Warm and reflective, months apart have left their mark, but some bonds are too strong to break. Ty's return doesn't just fill a space, it restores it. Every glance, every step, every touch carries the weight of all the moments that were missed. The camera captures Ty reaching out, fingers brushing over Amy's shoulder, a brief clasp of hands. A gesture that says more than words ever could. The farm's animals, ever intuitive, respond in kind. A horse leans into his touch. Dog barks softly, running in gentle circles. Even the wind seems to carry a sigh, whispering through the trees, as if acknowledging the reunion. Close-up shots highlight the smaller, intimate details, the brushing of a horse's coat under Ty's skilled hands, the careful adjustment of a bridle, the subtle, faceless warmth of a shared glance. These gestures, simple yet profound, convey the depth of emotion, the relief, and the quiet joy of returning to where he belongs. The narration continues, carrying the emotional weight forward. This is more than a homecoming. It's a reminder that love, care, and devotion can bridge any distance. Heartland has waited, and now it breathes again with the presence of the one who has always belonged here. The camera shifts to a wider perspective, capturing the family's movements without, showing faces, hands touching, gestures of recognition, and the slow, natural flow of bodies reconnecting. Even without words, the audience understands the unspoken promises and emotions being exchanged. The animals' subtle reactions reinforce the sense of reunion, grounding it in the natural world of Heartland. Finally, the scene closes with a soft, cinematic pullback. Ty standing in the middle of the farm, the family gathered around in faceless silhouettes, horses grazing nearby, sunlight spilling over the paddocks, highlighting the serene yet powerful restoration of connection. The narrator's voice gently concludes this moment. Some reunions are quiet, yet they echo louder than words. Some returns heal what has been missing. And today Heartland feels whole again. The same again. The morning warmth begins to fade into a soft, tense light as Ty walks deeper into the farm, every step stirring memories both sweet and heavy. The camera follows him closely from behind, faceless but intimate, capturing the slight hesitation. In his movements, his hands brush over familiar fences and gateposts, and the familiar sounds of the farm, the shuffle of hooves. The rustling of leaves feel almost too quiet, like the farm itself is holding its breath. There is a sense that something lingers beneath the surface, something unspoken waiting to emerge. Inside the barn, the camera glides across the stalls, lingering on the small details. A letter slipped under a tack box, a folded piece of paper. Left carelessly on a shelf, a photo slightly tilted on a windowsill. Ty's hand reaches out, hesitating just above the letter. The atmosphere thickens with tension, the audience sensing the weight of the secret that's been hidden during his absence. Horses shift nervously nearby, ears flicking toward the sound of distant voices, mirroring the unspoken unease of the farm. The narration begins, calm but laced with suspense. Even in the warmth of a homecoming, shadows linger. Not every story of absence ends in joy. Some truths wait quietly, only to reveal themselves when the time is right. Today, Heartland will face what has been left unsaid. The camera shifts to the farmhouse. Hands nervously clutch a cup of coffee. A chair scrapes slightly against the floor and shadows stretch across the room. The audience doesn't see faces, but gestures, the tightening of fingers, the slight tremor and movement speak volumes. Ty's return has stirred more than relief. It has awakened questions, doubts, secrets that had quietly lain dormant. As Ty unfolds the letter, the music shifts subtly, a slow, tense melody underlines the unfolding drama. The camera captures the close-up of his hand shaking slightly, the paper creasing under the pressure of anticipation. Though the words are unreadable to the audience, the gestures convey the weight of the revelation. The animals in the barn react to soft whinny, nuzzle at the nearest human, mirroring the subtle tension in the room. The narration deepens the emotional impact. Some secrets are small, barely noticed. Others grow quietly, shaping lives in ways we never realize. Now, as the past meets the present, Ty must confront not only what has been hidden, but what has changed while he was away. The camera pulls back to a wide cinematic shot of the barn and paddocks, sunlight filtered through dusty windows, casting long shadows. The tension is palpable. Ty stands alone in the middle of it all, the letter in his hand, the farm alive. With anticipation and the audience waiting with bated breath, every sound, every flick of the horse's ear, every shift of light builds the sense that something pivotal is about to unfold. The narration concludes the section. Voice gentle yet edged with suspense. Homecomings bring joy, but they can also uncover truths we never expected. Heartland welcomes Ty back with open arms, but some secrets will challenge the very heart of the farm he calls home. The afternoon sun bathes Heartland in a golden glow, soft and forgiving, as if the farm itself is sighing in relief. Ty walks slowly through the paddocks, his hand brushing along the fence, feeling the texture of the wood that has weathered years alongside him. Horses approach, nuzzling against his palms, their gentle movements full of trust and recognition. The camera lingers on these moments, faceless, intimate, yet speaking volumes about connection, love, and the unspoken bond between man and animal. Inside the barn, the shadows shift as Ty carefully places the letter back on the shelf, a symbolic gesture of acceptance. His hands linger over familiar tools, the saddle, the grooming brush, the reins, and the camera captures these gestures in delicate close-ups. Every movement tells the story of a man reconnecting with his home, reclaiming the rhythm of the farm, and finding peace after months away. Narration begins softly, warm, and reflective. Some journeys take us far from home, but the heart always knows where it belongs. Ty's return isn't just about coming back. It's about finding what was always waiting. It's about restoring the balance and love that make Heartland whole. The camera shifts to Amy, her hands visible as she adjusts a blanket over a horse, or gently brushes its coat. Their hands almost meet in passing, a touch, fleeting but filled with meaning. Though the audience doesn't see faces, the emotion is undeniable. Relief, gratitude, and the quiet joy of togetherness. The animals, too, respond, moving closer. Leaning into the energy of trust and familiarity, the narration continues. Every corner of this farm remembers him. Every hoofbeat, every breeze, every shadow carries a memory of the life they shared. And now, those memories are alive again, woven into the present with a promise of tomorrow. Outside, Ty walks along the familiar paths of Heartland. The camera captures a wide, cinematic shot field stretching into the horizon. Sunlight glinting off fences and tree branches, the horses grazing peacefully, and the farmhouse standing strong in the background. The scene radiates calm, warmth, and a sense of completion. The tension from the earlier secret has softened into understanding, and the farm feels alive again, whole in a way that only Ty's presence could restore. The narration gently concludes this moment. Home is more than a place. It's a feeling, a heartbeat, a presence that changes everything. Ty Borden has returned, and Heartland has found its rhythm once more. The past, the present, the bonds, they all meet here in the warmth of a homecoming that was meant to be. The camera slowly pulls back to a wide aerial view of Heartland, bathed in the soft glow of late afternoon. Horses scatter across the paddocks, shadows stretch long, and the gentle sway of trees mirrors the calm serenity of the farm. The scene is quiet, but full of life, a visual sigh of relief. It's a cinematic embrace for the audience, signaling that the emotional journey has reached. The sun dips lower on the horizon, casting Heartland in warm golden hues that stretch across the fields, paddocks, and barns. Dust swirls gently in the soft breeze, catching the light like tiny sparks of memory and hope. Ty stands near the fence, hands resting lightly on the wood, surveying the farm he has returned to. Horses graze nearby, their ears flicking in quiet recognition. Every detail, the swaying of the trees, the shimmer on the water, the gentle movement of animals, paints a picture of a farm alive again, restored not just by hands, but by the heart. The camera slowly pans across the property, capturing the familiar spaces of Heartland bathed in evening light. The farmhouse glows softly in the background, windows catching the last rays of sun, hinting at warmth and laughter within. Faceless family members move in, silhouette hands brushing together. A gentle gesture of connection, a nod toward shared memories. The visual storytelling reinforces the sense that life, love, and continuity are thriving once more. Narration begins, calm, inviting, and reflective. Heartland is more than a farm, it's a home, a heartbeat, a story written by the people, the animals, and the moments that define it. Ty Borden has returned, and with him comes hope, love, and a reminder that some bonds are never broken. The camera lingers on subtle, intimate gestures. Ty running a hand along a horse's mane, Amy's hands smoothing a blanket over the paddock, the gentle sway of a gate in the wind. Every motion is faceless yet deeply human, conveying emotion and connection without a single word of dialogue. Music swells softly, blending nostalgia with a hint of anticipation for what comes next. The narration continues, inviting the audience to engage. Every homecoming carries a story. Every return uncovers new memories. And every moment at Heartland reminds us why some places and some people are meant to be cherished forever. What will happen next at Heartland? Only time will tell. The video transitions to a cinematic wide shot. The farm in silhouette against a sunset sky, horses grazing in golden light, The farmhouse standing proudly in the distance. Text overlays appear subtly on screen. Subscribe for more Heartland fanfiction episodes and comment below. What secret will Ty uncover next? The visuals, narration, and music work together to leave viewers feeling satisfied, emotional, and eager for the next chapter. Finally, the camera slowly fades out to the Heartland logo or a simple graphic of the farm as the narrator gently closes. Heartland will always welcome you home. Stay with us for the stories that continue to warm your heart. The scene ends quietly, with lingering light and the soft rustle of the wind and emotional cinematic conclusion that ties together homecoming, resolution, and anticipation for the future. It's a satisfying resolution.